please raise your hand in the room if you have a question. We'll take the questions and circle back if we have time to follow us.
For either one of you, what's it going to take to close this out this evening? Series.
Keep our emotions in check. Know that DC is obviously going to be literally fighting for their season tonight, and know that if we can control the pace, control the boards, really play how we want to defensively, everything will open up offensively.
For either or both of you, you all were able to kind of contain Elena Delano in last game, the second half especially. So what was working really well with that, and how do you kind of bring that into tonight as well?
Yeah, just having attention to her, making sure we know where she is on the court, understanding what it is we want to do, and pick and roll coverages, and you know, with both me and Stewie. Yeah, just being focused on that going in.
Brian Lewis, New York Post. This is for you, Breanna. I'm curious, obviously playoffs is a lot about adjustments and how one team adjusts to the other. Looked like they trapped you a lot in the last game. I'm just curious what kind of adjustments you guys can make to kind of get you a little bit more space and then force them to counter what you do.
Yeah, I think just continuing to understand where the best spots are for me to, set screens and roll, but also the spacing for my teammates around me, and where we can exploit them. Maybe if they do come, then that means someone's open for either a shot or a cut, and just really making the right reads.
First for you, JJ, I'm curious how you think Sabrina has improved over her career when it comes to seeing pressure, like a double or a trap, especially in situations tonight where we've heard that Natasha Cloud says she's going to take that matchup with her very personally.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, excuse me. Obviously, I think she's grown tremendously with pressure, whether it be bringing the ball down the court or double teams. And I think this year specifically, I've seen like a big leap in her game and her ability to be able to handle those situations. Obviously, the trap is not just a one-person thing. We as teammates have to make sure we're getting open for her. We have to make sure that we're putting her in the best situations to be successful. And yeah, just understanding that it's a game of mismatches, and it's a game of basketball is like a game of chess essentially. They make a move, we make a move, and so we'll make the necessary changes to be successful.
And Stewie, for you, I'm curious if you could speak to how for this team it's not just about doubling or crowding one person, and how this team is designed to make adjustments very quickly.
I guess exactly that. Understanding that, like JJ said, it's a chess match, and however they're going to play it, we're going to react and have our own solution to it. And whether they're doubling us on the post or trapping Sab, make sure that we have someone that's open early and often.
Stewie, just following up on both those questions. I mean, when you see that they're throwing everything at you and they're doing different things, is that frustrating, or do you just have the confidence that other things are going to open up for people? And if it's frustrating, do you try to adjust your game, or what happens when you see that early?
I think it's expected. I think that they're gonna do whatever they can to make sure that I see bodies, and it's not frustrating because I know that in the end someone else is going to be open and continuing to make the right plays. And like we've been saying this whole time, it's pick and choose. Pick your poison.
Hello, good afternoon, thank you for being here. Breanna, my first question is for you. As someone who has partaken in a WNBA title track or two, how does this team kind of mentally that's why I said it. But how does this team kind of mentally and physically emulate, and mentally perhaps, emulate those championship squads? And what do you think is the missing link as you press forward in what's hopefully a lucrative playoff run?
I think that, when I look at the playoff runs that I've had before, the biggest thing is the experience and making sure that, it's nothing big or glaring that's going to change game to game, but making sure that we all pay attention to details. Know that, we won on Friday, but today's a completely different day and a whole new game. And obviously, DC's going to come out, like I said, with everything they've got, but we have home court, and make sure that when we're here, we use it to our advantage.
And how can you guys do that, especially in the early going?
Make sure we attack first.
Absolutely. Appreciate your comments. I hope you get over her.
Hey, Stewart, back here. This one's for you. Seems like game one, the refs let a lot of contact go as playoffs started. As the playoff series goes on, do you feel like you and the team will be able to kind of get more of a feel how the games will feature and kind of have more of an understanding of the full game?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's playoffs, so hopefully that means like there'll be more physicality allowed and things like that, obviously to a certain extent, but you know, I don't know, because the refs are different every single game, so I think you're putting me between a rock and a hard place. But you know, it's playoff basketball. It's going to be physical, and no matter what happens, we'll be ready.
Hey, Stewart. Obviously, game 2 of this spot series against Washington, but just go back in time for me to May, first game of the regular season. Just what do you remember about sitting in the locker room in Washington after that blowout loss in this moment? What's kind of lingered with you from that scene?
What I remember is that we were eager to bounce back. You know, obviously, to be honest, I wasn't surprised, just because this is a team that's been together for a while, talking about DC, and for us, we hadn't had as much time as them, but knowing that May wasn't when we wanted to be great. You know, we want to be great now and continuing throughout the rest of this playoffs.
Jonquel. I wanted to go back to a couple of answers ago when Breanna said that you want to throw the first punch and how important that is to do at home. Over the last 10 games, the team is giving up about 22 points per game in the first quarter, which is 10th in the W, whereas in the second half, after the break, it's 36.5 points, which is second in the W. So what adjustments, is that just a matter of feeling teams out on defense?